Hopefully it doesn't crash the game trying to load a movie or something. Does not play well with borderless gaming. Aldonon's you said, right? Well, here we are. Don't expect too warm a welcome, though. He's been a bit more detached lately. I'll just wait here while you talk to him. I'm sorry, are you here with a delivery? I'm with the City Watch. I'd like to ask you some questions. Watch? Whatever you're here for. Is someone in trouble? No trouble. You have information that I need. Really? I'm always happy to help the Watch, and information is something of a specialty of mine, you know? Quite the hobby. Let me just remove these wards. There, all disarmed, I think. Come right on in. Don't blast me with lightning when I get in.
Ah, well met, well met. Please forgive my rather rude questions at the door. I would never intentionally stand in the way of the City Watch. Well, unless there was nowhere else left to stand, really. But that wouldn't happen unless there was a flood. I must confess, normally I'm rather, well, reclusive. Not that I dislike people, mind you, quite the contrary. But lately, with all the troubles, a murderer on the loose and young nobles sneaking around up to who knows what, I've had to place wards around my home.
Yep. Kind of like this guy already. Nobles sneaking around.
Ah, yes. Lately, I've seen figures sneaking around in the dark, and not that well-meaning sort of sneaking either. It's obvious what they want.
What do they want?
Why, my house, of course. As if I would ever sell it. Ridiculous. I'd sooner give up my left eye. But my right annoys me at times, so that would be an easier sell.
Okay, I like this guy. Alright, please go on.
In any event, back when I first settled in Neverwinter, my humble abode was on the outskirts of Blacklake, bordering acres of untouched wilderness. Now, with Neverwinter being rebuilt, following all that plague nonsense, my property went from the periphery to being right on the main thoroughfare of the rich part of Neverwinter. All the nobility wants to live in Blacklake, but there's no more room, so lately they've been trying various ways to convince me to sell my land.
One moment, folks.
Of course. Who else would sneak around my home? Well, present company excluded. Oh, that's right. You came here for a reason, yes? Great dear, what a tale. The moment you arrived, I knew I'd be interested in meeting you. Wish I'd known that when I first greeted you. Would have saved some time. You've certainly come to the right place. A while ago, I found another shard with properties similar to the ones you possess. I've done every possible test on the shard, but learned little. However, I've never had another shard to compare it against. If you'd like some answers, I'll gladly run some tests on your shards. I have just enough quicksilver to do it. Ah, thank you. I'll be right back with this. My tests are complete. With another shard to use as a comparison, well, I learned quite a bit. Quite a lot, actually. It appears these shards contain latent magical energy, either caused by a strong enchantment from when they were whole or from their method of destruction. Furthermore, the shards resonate when they are brought together, increasing their magical energy output accordingly. These shards are pieces of a broken Githyanki silver sword. Are you familiar with the Githyanki? The Githyanki are a race of beings that dwell on the astral plane, led by Blacklake, the Lich Queen. Not a nice woman, I hear. Ages ago, the ancestors of the Githyanki were human and inhabited another plane of existence, where they were enslaved by the Illithids, or Mind Flayers. Then came Gith. Little is known about her outside the Githyanki, but she led the rebellion to free her people of the Illithids. and is considered the hero and founder of the Githyanki people. The Githyanki silver swords are forged with the special purpose of severing the silver cord that connects the form of an astrally projecting traveler to his or her material counterpart. They look like a regular Githyanki weapon until used in combat, at which point they turn into a column of flowing, shimmering liquid. Really quite amazing, I'm told. I believe the shards that you have found are pieces of one of these silver swords. I presume the Githyanki have come to Faerun to recover the shards. Common Githyanki would not possess a silver sword. These swords are rare and highly prized. They are given by the Lich Queen to only the greatest of Githyanki knights. When one of their silver swords falls into the hands of a non-Githyanki, they will go to extraordinary lengths to recover it. Often enough that there is a special group of Githyanki, the Sword Stalkers, whose sole purpose is to seek out any of the missing silver swords and punish the thieves who took them. I've never heard of one being broken before. It could be that the Githyanki are as interested in how it was broken as they are in reclaiming the pieces. Obviously, you'd first need more of the shards, wouldn't you? Between us, we have perhaps enough metal for a hairpin. And once enough had been gathered, well, I really don't know what the next step would be. A large hammer and hot coals, perhaps? I'm really not much of a blacksmith. I wish I knew more. Amon-Jero was the real expert. He actually possessed a silver sword. Amon-Jero? Oh, he was a court wizard of Neverwinter decades ago. I met him a few times. He was a nice fellow, a little absent-minded with a tendency to drift off the subject. Amon-Jero reminded me of my old mentor, Master Growler. Had the largest collection of noisy, exotic birds, made quite a racket, you know, chirping and squawking. I have no idea. He was a gentle sort, though, so I doubt that he stole or killed for the sword. I suppose they would. But if they went after Amon-Jero, they never found him. He passed away as quietly as he lived. Well, he's dead now, so I'm not sure finding him will help you much. When word of Amon's death reached me, it was from a messenger who had heard it in passing. The nobles who ruled Neverwinter at the time must have assumed I would simply know if another scholar passed away, for they had not mentioned it to me. It was almost an afterthought. I learned later that it was partly due to what Amon's family wanted, and what had been requested by the deceased, to enter life quietly and to leave it the same way. It is sad in this age when the passing of a humble scholar, an indistinct court wizard, barely warrants a footnote in history. It makes me wonder, will anyone remember me when I'm gone? That's kind of you to say, but unlike Amon-Jero, I will not be survived by any family. I suppose they would, but the Jero family was said to have moved far away from Neverwinter after the war, and Amon-Jero's passing. I have no idea where they might be now. Oh, those were dark, confusing times. So much death and chaos, all brought about by some self-proclaimed king of shadows. We were told the king of shadows was not a king at all, but rather a very powerful warlock and summoner of demons. He invaded Neverwinter decades ago with an army of demons. Neverwinter sent their forces to confront him. Both armies perished in the battle, and the King of Shadows was never heard from again. Some rumors suggest that he was defeated and imprisoned by a cabal of mages. Others say that he was dragged away to the abyss by his own demon servants. Whatever the King of Shadows' fate, I say good riddance.
So I was muted most of the entire time after talking to my roommate. So, sorry about that. Anything more you can tell me about the King of Shadows?
There is very little else for me to share with you. I certainly wasn't there, and what little history that has been recorded of those times remains vague and murky. However, if you wish, I would be happy to sit down and speculate with you about the King of Shadows. It would be a wonderfully entertaining exercise.
Do you know anything more about the shard?
Certainly. Where was I? Oh yes, when I discovered this shard and suspected what it might be, I attempted to uncover Amongero's research on the subject. Unfortunately, any information Amongero had on the Githyanki was either lost to the grave, taken far away by his family, or locked within his haven.
He had a haven. Where?
It was a private retreat of some sort, where he went for solitude. I know it exists, but I don't know where. I suspect that the Neverwinter archives here in Blacklake would have its location. They typically keep noble family records in the secured archives. They don't allow just anyone to access them, though. I petitioned to be allowed to peruse the secured archives, but I was denied because, well, some silly misunderstanding regarding misplaced books that somehow ended up in my possession.
How can I gain access to the secured archives?
Normally, you would have to petition for access, which could take several weeks. However, ask the guards at the archives to speak directly with Archives Administrator Kotnik. He has been known to let me in, quietly on occasion.
Thanks for the help. I'll be going now.
Very well. Thank you for your visit, and for letting me chat with you. Quite enlightening, really. Oh, and before I forget, you may take my shard. I've no use for it any longer, and who knows, you may gather more. Do be careful, though. I plan to raise my wards again after you have left to keep out those young nobles skulking about. Hope we haven't talked too long. Otherwise, they may have gathered their courage and attempted to sneak in.
Oh, that's a lot of information we just got. You were in there a while, but no worries. I found a stout branch and whittled a carving for Harmony, my fiancée. Thank you for your patience. Can we go to the archives now? The archives? Well, my orders were to take you straight to Aldenon's and back out again. It'll only be a short trip. What's the harm? I suppose it'd be alright. Just a short trip after all. Not one for books, though. I'll wait outside once we get there. Come with me. Probably easiest diplomacy check of Iggy's life. This feels dungeony. Also, all these doors are open. How about a quick save before something breaks out? Oh. Yeah, that explains it. Well. Good to see that the Githyanki are also quick on the draw. Any in this one? Yes, there are. Yeah, Githyanki silver swords are pretty neat like that. Although I think more recent editions made it so as if a Githyanki were to cut the thread that connects your, more or less your body from your spirit, you would just die. People that are familiar with the astral dreadnoughts from a certain very popular streaming D&D show would probably also be relatively familiar with said ability. Who's there? Answer me! I'm here to help. What's going on? I think the gods I heard shouting and the sounds of fighting and feared whatever evil has come on the archives will find me. I need to find information on Amongero. Jero? That information would only be contained within the vault. Many of the Neverwinter's secrets are kept there, but it's for our eyes only. More than Neverwinter's at stake here. I need that information. Very well. If you swear to protect Neverwinter and keep its secret safe, I will help you. It's not a lie. I vow to protect Neverwinter and keep its secret safe. I'm already multi-class Neverwinter 9. Very well. These marauders most likely seek entrance to the vault as well. You must find 4 pedestals in the archives, upon which each is a parchment and a pin, which can only be seen by one wearing the caretaker's veil. Each of the pins will scribe a question on the parchment regarding a book. The pin and parchment will inform you of the book their question concerns and asks you for your answer. Answer all 4 correctly and the vault will open. Can't you just tell me how to solve the puzzles? The questions are never the same, unfortunately, otherwise I would know. Find the body of one of my fellow caretakers. Take his veil and use it to find the panels. I must find a way out of here. Good fortune to you. Thanks for your help. Suppose we could have asked him for his veil, but I don't know, maybe there would have been some bullshit about, hey, you can't. Ah, shit. Blacklake. Come back here. Is it dead? I think it's dead. Oh, it's dead. Yeah. Actually, no. Let's focus on this mage. Bonk. Oop. Whew. Can we get a bladelings thing? No? No bladeling things? Versus Ring of Insight and Cloak of Protection versus Evil. Fascinating. Good lord. Just random treasure. Sailorman case? Oh boy. It's gonna be one of those puzzles where it's gonna ask me, oh god. Questions are never the same. Yay. Parchment? Apparently? Kind of expecting more random Githyanki. To counter the assumption of a flat Faerun. Boy, it kind of hurts that real world inspires fiction sometimes.
Nature will have its say.
Nope, we're attacking that one. Stab him more? No need to stab him more? Alright. The Ilfarn Cipher. Okay. Oh, right. I gotta equip the veil, don't I? Yep. Might as well drop a quick rest. Through the veil, you can see the shapes of a feather pin and a leather parchment lying on the pedestal, glowing with a soft light. When you approach, the pin rises into the air and scribes a question. The following question references the Luskan threat to Neverwinter. Other than Neverwinter, who else has Luskan likely to attack in the near future? I don't have the book, so I can't answer, apparently. Oh, watch it be one of those things where the game itself checks whether or not you've read a certain book. And you can just answer it like that. Because it's not like it gave me multiple choice, it just said, hey. Which is the most likely to attack us next? Following question references Death of a Sailor Man. What does Trader B. Darwin consider his crowning achievement? Sinking the Luskan Pride. Just straight up lore? Awesome. Correct. I guess I don't need to put back on my hat. We're here for violence and reading, not diplomacy, apparently. Hello, sir. Didn't know if that guy was knocked over or if that guy was, Alright. That's actually really cool. Oh, hello. That was fast. Yeah. Oh, right. That's actually kind of cool. The
How can I help?
the not necessarily the lore part. I can only imagine. Wand missiles.
Yes.
Only got 1 billion of those. But the I mean, yes, the lore part. Death of a Sailor Man Volume 2 or 3. Am I just able to see secret doors? Because of the veil? Y'all having problems with the bladeling? Oh, hello. Lore! And of course, by the way, it would be Iggy that would know the lore based around a fisherman. Dude's a very simple individual, what can I say? Let's clear this place out of any more Githyanki before doing anything more. Yeah, I don't know where some of these guys get the brilliant idea of attacking us 1 versus 4. It's probably super locked. Death of a Sailor Man. Ishka,
Oh,
if you will.
sorry. I can't do that.
Oh, that must be the one we're trying to unlock. Kind of silly, though, that it's that strong. Well, okay, I suppose it is supposed to be protecting an archive, so... Another Death of a Sailor Man. Yeah, is the veil just revealing secret doors? Because that'd be awesome. Ooh.
Everybody, follow me!
Ishka, if you will. I'm gonna see if I can't at least solve this puzzle, though. More scrolls. Sleep and Lightning Bolt. At the least, I think that she should be able to cast those with some use a magic device. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, that was the Sailor Man. I don't know why it took so long to get into this one. Parchlight. The Ilfarn Cipher. Do have that one. 98764321. Can't go into Me, Ingwolf, you open vault. There we go. Brute force it. Best way to solve a solve a riddle. Let's see. This was a Sailorman's case. I mean, I know I picked up the Ilfarn cipher, but I really didn't want to have to try to solve a flippin' cipher at this exact moment in time. I barely have the mental capacity to handle most riddles. I think I can solve a cipher.
Your command.
That's adorable. Y'all would have better faith in me than I do. The veil to counter the assumption of a flat Faerun. The author believes the shape of Faerun is round. Alright. Shape of Faerun. To counter the assumption of flat Faerun. It's to counter, so I'd assume that he/she would be saying that it is not flat. We know that actively succeed in disrupting the weave. In an attempt to ascend to godhood, great destruction follows, but history makes no mention of creatures falling up from Faerun into the heavens. Thus, gravity is not a magical force that is dependent on the weave. In addition, strong counter-evidence, many explorers have claimed to have traveled completely around Faerun through combinations of land and sea together and even magical flight, as described in the journals of the great mage Ikarian. Ha! I can prove beyond all fact that Faerun is not flat, but rather is in fact the shape of a ring or a donut. It is not sigil. But okay. Oh. What does the author believe pulls objects towards the ground? Gravity. Excuse you. What is revealed at the end of the book? Nothing. Nothing was revealed except the guy theorizing that it was shaped like a ring or a donut. That's a different place altogether, dude. Sure. Let me guess. Locked?
How
Trapped?
can I help?
All the above? Four whole gold pieces. That's more like it. Alright, so this was the only one that I hadn't answered yet. This one was regarding Luskan threats to Neverwinter. The Luskan threat to Neverwinter. Do we have that book? Flat Faerun case, goddammit. That will always make me chuckle a little bit. Because fantasy realms, you know, makes sense. You got freaking, oh. You got freaking fireball. Discworld, which is quite literally a disc floating on the back of, like, what was it, 7 giant elephants? 8 giant elephants? Which are then proceeding to ride the back of a giant sea turtle. It's a big sea turtle, can I say? Why all these Sailorman cases? I didn't even need the Sailorman case. That's the funniest part. Iggy just knew that from lore. Man might not have a high-ass intelligence. But man does have, yep, flame, frost, shock weapons, poison weapon, acid weapon. All good stuff. Dude might not have an amazing intelligence score, but at the least he would probably just know a whole lot of random shit. You'd like to read. Okay, maybe the book's somewhere back here. Wait, did I open up this one? It just says bookcase. Luskan threat to Neverwinter. I just didn't see all of them. Reports from an ominous source illustrating the nature of the Luskan threat. 1. Luskan is subtle. It will first attempt to weaken Neverwinter by undermining political alliances. 2. Neverwinter must expand its political alliances. Or Lord Nasher must expand his political alliances across the Sword Coast to ward off Luskan aggression. 3. The current Luskan ambassador, Torio Klaven, is a spy for Luskan and cannot be trusted. 4. Luskan's immediate short-term goal is the assassination of Lord Nasher. It will take advantage of the chaos to attack. 5. Luskan may turn its attention to Ruthim again, giving Neverwinter valuable time to prepare for a Luskan attack. Yeah, that one was just labeled bookcase. It wasn't even like Luskan threat bookcase or threat bookcase or whatever. Oh, got it. Got it. Do I remember any of that off the immediate top of my head? Not at all. Continue. Who is the current Luskan ambassador? Torio Klaven. I remembered something. Hooray! Alright.
We have the location of Haven. Interesting. There is another Jero. Ziri will want her. I shall take care of the descendant. Wipe out all mention of the thief. Then rejoin the others. The collector! Kill him!
I think we've had enough of this one.
Yeah, I'd say so too, Nishka. All before I could put on my fancy hat. That wasn't such a chore. Fancy hat back on. Oh, Ring of Fortitude. Ooh, big spender, that guy. Wow, all that within one book? These records for Jero have been partially destroyed. From what you can piece together, Amon Jero has one living relative, Chandra Jero, who is... Chandra. Who is a farm near Highcliff.
Chandra? The Highcliff girl with the flammable barn?
We need to get to her at once. The Githyanki are probably heading there as we speak.
For now, I'll stay here. It's probably some sort of a really quick thing. But honestly, as much as I am somewhat eager to see the first bits of Act 2, I am going to give myself time to relax, play something else for a bit, because honestly, I'm just smidgen worried about burning out from Neverwinter Nights 2. This has been an interesting game, a nice dive back into 3.5 era Dungeons & Dragons. I dig a whole lot of the mechanics, because it's 3.5. I'm liking most of the characters so far, particularly these three, really. Can't see him, but he's back there. And I really do like the appearance of everything. It's very nice. It's a huge upgrade from Neverwinter Nights 1. I do have some problems with it though. NPCs are your companions just randomly going about killing things. Sure, you can give them commands, but basically your commands go to follow me, don't attack, or attack. That's not necessarily bad, but man, can it get a little bit egregious. to have to do that every single time you might want to stealth or something. Crafting. I don't have problems with the crafting system itself, but it does feel like a whole hell of a lot of it is based off of what you could possibly get from the game randomly as chests. It makes it so as it is very hard to, you know, want something and then be able to go, aha, that's the thing I needed, because it's not available in a store typically. Other than that, the story's like this whole act has been me getting to Neverwinter, and then the following 20 or so videos that I've recorded of it has been just me trying to get permission to get into Blacklake. Seriously. I get that there were threats of death for nobility and whatnot, but it is so annoying to have spent the last, like, 20 hours here in Neverwinter alone doing a bunch of deeds for the guard with what feels like no progression towards the actual plot, even though it just happens to coincide with the, you know, with the plot. I suppose I could have gone the Moira route or whatever. I have no clue how that would have ended. I don't know if it would have been just straight shot into Blacklake after that point, or if I would have, you know, equally have been as laden down with so many tasks that I get a little bit annoyed. It's not necessarily that it's all of the annoying quests, it's also just how interesting the quests are, you know? If I felt like I was making any sort of progression, that'd have been one thing. But only now, my getting permission to come to Blacklake as a guard? Oof. I guess I'm more just annoyed than anything. But yeah, I'm gonna give myself a small hiatus from Neverwinter Nights 2. I'm gonna play something else. I'm not exactly sure what. But I'll come back to this, I promise. I just need a moment away from this. Thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you guys at least enjoyed the Let's Play up to this point so far. It's going to be a long one if this one took 30 videos, even after the first 10 or so were like an hour long. If you guys like this series, consider liking, commenting, subscribing. All that fun stuff really helps out the channel. And if you want to support the channel in a direct financial fashion, I have a bevy of links down in the description below. Coffee, Stream Elements, and Patreon. All of them are excellent choices in, you know, throwing money in my face to keep a roof over my head, food in my belly, and at some point upgrading my PC. I just don't want to get burned out on this. It's a long ass game. It's going to be easy to burn out. But thank you everyone so very much for watching, and I hope to see you folks in the next adventure. Take care. Cheers. Get Khadgar in the shot too.